I invite the member for Chilliwack Cultus Lake to lead the House in prayer or reflection.
I'd like to reflect today on all of the people that I know some members in the House have lost recently, all the ones who have fought for us in the past in conflict, and share a song that was composed by Teresa Bearfox in memory. Skani kola de watu de ne tie ana de dona daitsu de ne tinu haladu neo gweko naskana ka we ha hey no. Let's put our minds together as one and remember the ones who've passed on to the sky world. Their life duties are complete. They are resting peacefully in the sky world. In the sky world. Skani kola de watu de ne tie ana de no na daitu de ne tinu waladu neo kweku naskana ka we ha hey new. Creator, we ask you to have a special blessing on every single person in this house, to fill their hearts and the reminder of the work that we all came here to do. Regardless of where we stand on an issue, that we be tough on the issues and not the people. That we remember the constituents, that we remember our past, but that we work from today. And that we leave here today to go home to our families in much thanks and celebration. Lahai.
Introduction by members. Member for Surrey Serpentine River.
To the House this morning, the Mayor of my city, Brenda Locke, as well as the City Manager, Rob Costanzo, Harry Cooner, the Chief of Staff, Director of Safety and Security at the City, Brian Edwards, and long-standing Executive Assistant to the Mayor, Christy Warwick. Please, would the House welcome all of the Surrey delegation here today.
Minister of State for Local Governments.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Oh, sorry, I'm going to have to take out my teeth for the member across the way. I have a real introduction, but before I start that, I know we're not really supposed to comment on prayers and reflections, but often you look at me and it makes me cry. And you're right, I don't understand how you vote all the time, but I respect you as a human, and that was so beautiful. And I just want to thank you for being who you are. And let's work together. Why I'm really standing up here today, though, Mr. Speaker, is there is a very special person that I want to wish a happy birthday to. She is the longest serving female MLA from our caucus, our Minister of Agriculture, Lana Popham. It's her birthday today. She is an incredible mentor, an incredible friend, and she has farmers from all regions in BC, including from our opposition, who absolutely love our Minister of Agriculture because she so believes in the work of farmers, communities, and all of British Columbia. So will the House please all wish Lana Popham a very happy birthday. Thank you, Minister.
Minister of Health.
Thank you so much, Honourable Speaker. Today, I am so pleased to welcome the Board of Directors and staff of the BC Association of Community Health Centres. They're joining us here in the gallery. This association represents community health centres across British Columbia, local, team-based care centres that play a vital role in our communities. They are centres that help people stay healthy, support seniors to live well, reduce emergency room visits, and ensure that the most vulnerable members of our communities receive the care and support they need. We look forward to meeting with them later today. Please will the House join me in warmly welcoming them.
Member for Courtney Comox.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I just want to take a moment to introduce Paul Adams, the Executive Director for the Rural Health Network, as well as Jacqueline Shapiro. They're here in the gallery today. They do amazing work representing the small rural communities that are underserved here in the province of BC. Please have the House make them feel welcome.
Member for Vancouver-Langara.
Honourable Speaker, I rise today to wish a very happy birthday to two of my family members. October 30th is a very special day for me. It's my older son, Arun Deer's birthday. Arun, I am trying not to cry. Arun turns 32 today and is celebrating in Japan with his lovely wife, Hiromi. He is the apple of my eye and my first blood relative in Canada. I am so proud of him, and yes, I still embarrass him by introducing him as my doctor's son. And this Sunday, November 2nd, my wonderful sister Monica Deer, also known as Mona, will also be celebrating her birthday. Monica is one of the kindest and most selfless people I know. The best daughter, the best mother, and the best sister anyone can ask for. And she should know today that the trash story that my brother and I have been telling her all her life is not true. I hope everyone in this house will join me in wishing Arun and Monica very happy birthdays.
House Leader of the Third Party.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm very pleased to introduce and recognize the amazing members of my constituency team, Patricia Pearson, Deborah Bowman, and Julie Luna, who have worked tirelessly over the past year to support the residents of Saanich North and the Islands, helping to remove barriers and ensure that everyone can access the services they need. Deborah Bowman, who is also one of my constituents, joined our team after an impressive 22-year career in the public service before retiring in 2023 and was looking for something exciting to do. Julie Luna has been with us since we opened our constituency office last December, has quickly become an essential part of our work. And Patricia Pearson, who sadly for us will be moving on to new ventures next month. Patricia has been with me since my campaign, has served as a strong advocate for constituents for the past 2.5 years. I'm deeply grateful for her dedication and all her contribution. And also joining us in the gallery today is Adam Olson, my predecessor as MLA for Saanich North and the Islands, who has been a fabulous and wonderful mentor and now Director of Intergovernmental Relations for Sartlip First Nation. Mr. Speaker, I invite all members of the House to join me in extending a very warm welcome and heartfelt thanks to all of them.
Minister of Children and Family Development.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. I rise today to wish a very happy birthday to the person who made me a mom. Troy Wickens turns 20, and for the last 20 years, he's graced this world with strength and determination. I'm so incredibly proud to be your mom. Can't wait to come home and celebrate with you. I love you, and I'll see you soon.
Member for Fraser-Nicola.
Mr. Speaker, you know all the silly stuff that goes on in this House and everything. Introduction times is an opportunity for us to see a lot of our personal sides here, and it's really, really nice to see. So having said that, I'd like to wish my beautiful wife a happy anniversary. It's 10 years today. 10 years ago, I made the best decision in my life was to marry Wanda, so I really appreciate it.
Minister of Citizen Services.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. In the gallery today, it's my pleasure to welcome members of the Government Information Management Branch team. This group is part of the ministry, supports all the ministries with information records management and the broader public sector, including the Royal BC Museum. Would the House please welcome Mario Miniaci, Mary Labucan, Elizabeth Van der Beesen, Terrell Les Strange, and Bruce Schinkowitz. Thank you so much. Everybody welcome them very much.
Minister of State for AI and New Technologies.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Did you know it's the 100th anniversary of quantum mechanics? 2025 is the International Year of Quantum Science and Technology, and in that context, I would like to introduce Louise Turner, who is the CEO of the Quantum Algorithms Institute. I met with her yesterday, and she's meeting with a number of us today. Would the House please make her feel welcome?
Minister of Land and Water.
Thank you so much, Honourable Speaker. Further to the Minister of Health's introduction, I just want to do a personal introduction to the Executive Director of the Pender Harbour Health Centre, which is my health centre and the health centre for about 4,000 residents of Pender Harbour. The heart and soul that goes into that place is absolutely extraordinary. So Nick Gaskin, thank you for being here today, and I'd like to ask the House to give him a warm welcome.
Leader of the Third Party.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'd like to echo the introduction of the member for Courtney Comox for Paul Adams, the Executive Director of the BC Rural Health Network. With Paul is Jacqueline Podewells, who is the founder of Housing is Healthcare. Born and raised in Kelowna, has traveled here from Chicago to be with us. Jacqueline has been a champion for access to care in BC and creating awareness around the struggles people face in having to pay out of pocket to stay in Vancouver for many procedures. Her mom is a double lung transplant recipient whose lived experience moved Jacqueline to act. I want to recognize Jacqueline's work with the BC Rural Health Network on improving access to care for all residents in BC, ensuring that our health system is accessible to all without financial or other barriers. Will the House please make Jacqueline and Paul feel welcome?
Member for Wandifuka-Malahat.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It's no secret to anyone on the floor of this House that we could not do the work that we do without our incredible constituency advisors. Joining us in the House today are my two of my heroes, Akriti Rai and Sarah Dinsdale. I feel like I won the lottery twice when I found these two, and I just want to give them a warm House welcome. Thank you.
Member for Vancouver Strathcona.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Since today is Nonprofit Recognition Day, I'd like to recognize our friends from the nonprofit sector that are with us today. We have representatives from across the province and representing all parts of the social sector service org joining us. So thank you particularly to Zahar Ishmael, Prairie Chew, and Tyler Taylor from Vantage Point for bringing you all here together. Thank you so much for all you do.
Minister of Labour.
Very much, Speaker, and I just also wanted to welcome the community health folks here today. We also, as part of that team, have Zarguna Wakil, who is the Executive Director of the Umbrella Multicultural Co-op in my community in New Westminster, and we just had a chance to celebrate their 15th anniversary recently. They provide incredible primary care to people in many, many different languages, reflecting the diversity of our community. They have a cultural health broker program that is extraordinary and nationally recognized. They provide mobile health services to temporary foreign workers who are working in our agricultural sector in the Valley. They do just incredible work. Thank you so much for your leadership, Zarguna.
Member for Prince George Valemount.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm honored to rise today to introduce one of my constituents from Prince George, which that happens very rarely. Dr. Alex Arvind has been a distinguished professor of computer science at University of Northern British Columbia, where his dedication to teaching and research has earned him countless awards from the university and nominations for prestigious national awards. His pioneering work in transformational FCFS mutual exclusion algorithms, which apparently there are actually people in the gallery that knows what that means, so that's awesome. He has been featured in most widely used computer science textbooks worldwide, inspiring students globally. On behalf of my constituents and this House, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to Dr. Arvind's remarkable contributions to education, innovation, and our community. Please join me in making him feel welcome.
Member for Ladysmith Oceanside.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. I rise today for an introduction. In the House today we have Jackie Nelligan, the Executive Director of Ladysmith Family and Friends, and members of the LAF Board of Directors, as well as her family. LAF provides inclusive, interactive opportunities for the development of children and families up to 6 years old in Ladysmith and the surrounding areas. Jackie is in the House today because she is the recipient of the King Charles Coronation Medal, which we will be presenting to her at 12:30 in the Library Rotunda. You're all invited if you would like to come, along with the former MP from Ladysmith, Nanaimo Ladysmith, Lisa Marie Barron. And if you're all free, I encourage you to come, and would the House please help me make Jackie and her friends feel very welcome here today.
Member for City Centre.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I am also pleased to rise to introduce and welcome the Mayor of the glorious City of Surrey, Mayor Brenda Locke, along with staff in the gallery. And it was really lovely to spend some time recently celebrating the fruits of our collaboration through the opening of the Cloverdale Ice and Sports Complex, and we all look forward very much so to continue collaborating to get some amazing projects done. So I welcome her to the House, and I request everyone else do the same. Thank you.
Member for Abbotsford South.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. On behalf of the Minister for State of Local Government and Rural Communities, I'd like to make a very special introduction. I'd like everyone in this House to be introduced to Jack O'Lantern. We spelled a special thing, and for those of you, and I'm sure the birthday girl and the Minister of Agriculture would agree, that some of the best pumpkins that you need for your jack-o'-lantern are grown right in the Fraser Valley to the farmers of Sumas. Please embrace them and make sure you get a jack-o'-lantern for yourself. So thank you very much. And will the House please give Jack a warm welcome.
Minister of State for Local Governments, again.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker. And when I saw the member from Abbotsford South wearing an orange tie, I thought, oh, maybe today he's crossing the floor. But I'm very pleased to welcome Jack and support our pumpkin farmers. So thank you. But I do want to give a shout out to Jacqueline and Paul from the Rural Health Network. We are meeting today. We've had many conversations in the past that have been wonderful, and I am so excited for our meeting today. So thank you, and I know they've been welcomed already by the opposition and the Greens, but just everyone please give them a warm welcome. They do great work.
Member for Salmon Arm, Sue Schwab.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. It gives me great pleasure to introduce a friend and a guest in the gallery today. Mike Butler, Chief Executive Officer of Coastal Gateway Port and Union Bay Industries. Mike is leading an ambitious and forward-looking vision to strengthen British Columbia's coastal trade infrastructure, expand port capacity, and connect our province's resource corridors to new global markets through innovative and sustainable port development. Accompanying him today is Alana Behringer. I ask all members to please join me in welcoming Mike Butler and Anna to the legislature.
Minister of Post-Secondary Education.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise today to wish my husband, Darcy, a happy anniversary. We know that this place can be really tough. I think none of us really knew what we were getting into, but he was always a champion. I don't even think he still knows what we've gotten ourselves into, but it's always wonderful to go through this life together. He makes the hard days lighter, the good days brighter, and I'm so lucky to do this journey of life with him. So if everyone will wish us a happy anniversary.
Member for Nanaimo Lansville.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to recognize a constituent of Nanaimo Lansville, Ted Greaves. He's the former president of Local 905 Professional Firefighters Union, a former city councillor and regional district director. But on November 1st, 2025, he's being inducted into the Canadian Lacrosse Hall of Fame. He was captain of the Owen Sound North Stars from 1976 to 1979, the Nanaimo Timbermen from 1981, the Victoria Payless Shamrocks in 1986, and in 1978, Mr. Speaker, he was the team captain for Canada and led Canada to victory over the United States of America to win gold for Canada at the World Lacrosse Championship in Manchester, England. So I hope the whole House would join me in congratulating Ted Greaves. Thank you.
Member for Surrey White Rock.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I know everybody's got Jays fever here. Go Cubs go. But I did want to remind everybody that the BC Lions are hosting their home playoff game on Saturday. Maybe I will run into the Minister of Forests there, but I just want to wish the Lions the best of luck on Saturday as they take on the Stamps.
Member for Cowichan Valley.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. It's my happy to introduce one of my constituents here. I just noticed her up there in the gallery, Mary Dolan. Most of you would know her from her previous work of child care advocate, working at Growing Together Care Centre, and also Child Care and Family Council of the Cowichan region and other communities. So please help me in welcoming her here today. And so please help me in welcoming her here today.
Member for Ladysmith Oceanside.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. October 30th is clearly an auspicious day because I too became a mom on October 30th to my son Oliver, who is turning 18 today. If you are a rural family who's into hunting and fishing, you know what a big day this is. Oliver, you are kind, you are caring, you are capable. I'm so proud of you, and I can't wait to see what adulthood brings. Please help me wish Oliver a happy birthday.
Member for Vancouver Strathcona.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I just wanted to wish my daughter-in-law, Jennifer Adam Phillip, a very happy birthday today.
I'm looking for anybody else. Oh, okay. Cowichan Valley.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. So everyone's wishing their family members a happy birthday. I would like to wish my father, who is turning 88 tomorrow, and on Halloween Day. So he lives in the Cowichan Valley, so he is one of my constituents. And he is just such a busy man. He's had a full life. He had 25 years at Duncan Paving, and he was always proud of that. And he'd always take his children out to drive in the parking lots that he just paved or roads, and ask, before we'd go out to the Dairy Queen ice cream, and say, "Look how beautiful this is." And I'd be like, "Dad, can you just take us for ice cream, please?" Thank you, Honourable Speaker.
Madam Clerk.
Introduction of bills.
The House Leader of the Fourth Party.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move that a bill entitled New Resident Health Cost Recovery Act 2025, of which notice has been given in my name on the order paper, be introduced and read for a first time now. British Columbia's healthcare system is under tremendous strain. Last year alone, British Columbia added more than 150,000 new residents, the fastest increase in over 60 years. And nearly all that growth came from international migration. Non-permanent residents now make up 7.3% of everyone who calls this province home. Emergency room waits are reaching 14 hours, and more than 1 million British Columbians are without a family doctor. That's why I am introducing the new Resident Health Cost Recovery Act 2025. This bill requires new residents who are not yet Canadian citizens or permanent residents to pay an annual health registration fee of $7,500 per person as a condition of coverage under the Medicare Protection Act. That amount reflects the average annual cost of publicly funded health care in BC. The fee will be adjusted for inflation each year and will cease once the individual becomes a permanent resident or a Canadian citizen. All revenues will go into a dedicated health cost recovery account used only to administer the Act and fund health services for new residents. Most new arrivals earning modest incomes as they get established naturally contribute far less than taxes at first, yet their care is just as costly. This bill closes that gap fairly and transparently so that everyone who receives publicly funded health care also helps pay to keep it strong for the future. Thank you.
Members, the question is first reading of the bill. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Nay. Division has been called. Members, we are ready to begin the voting. If we agree to waive the time, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Everybody okay? Thank you. Members, the question is, of course, the question is, first reading of Bill New Resident Health Cost Recovery Act. All those in favor, please rise or indicate. Thank you. Be seated. Those who oppose, please rise or indicate. Thank you. Be seated. Madam Clerk.
Minister Lohr.
I vote nay.
Minister Kang.
I vote nay.
Minister Malcolmson.
I vote no.
Emily Morissette.
I vote no.
Emily Watt.
I vote aye.
Those voting aye. Wilson, Kindy, Millibar, Warbus, Banman, Watt, Cooner, Halford, Hartwell, Neufeld, Van Popta, Clare, K. Neufeld, Bangu, Payton, Gasper, Chan, Tour, Hepner, Rattay, Davis, McGinnis, Bird, McCall, Stamer, Day, Tepper, Mock, Maz, Williams, Dollywall, Dirksen, Luck, Block, Brody, Armstrong, and Keeley, 37. Those voting nay. Lord, G. Anderson, Blatherick, Rutledge, Chant, Toporowski, B. Anderson, Neal, Osborne, Brar, Krieger, Davidson, Parmar, Sunner, Bear, Chandra Herbert, Wickens, Kang, Sandu, Begg, Higginson, Philip, Lajeunesse, Choi, Rochford, Elmore, Morissette, Popham, Dix, Sharma, Farnworth, E.B. Bailey, Callan, Green, Whiteside, Boyle, Ma, Young, Malcolmson, Gibson, Glumac, Aurora, Shaw, Chow, Deere, Valeriot, and Botterill, 48.
Motion failed. Madam Clerk. Member for North Island.
Honourable Speaker, I move that a bill entitled Health Authorities Amendment Act 2025, of which notice has been given in my name on the order paper, be introduced and read for the first time now. Many people in British Columbia believe their healthcare system will be there for them and their loved ones if they fall critically ill. Unfortunately, in BC, wait times to access timely health care is increasing and some are dying waiting for care. The Health Authority Amendment Act 2025 would compel provincial health authorities to ensure patients are informed whenever potentially life-saving treatment cannot be provided within the medically recommended time frame. Patients would then have the option to seek life-saving treatment outside BC. For example, if you require a life-saving surgery within 28 days, but the local health authorities is booking you at 60 days out, the local health authorities would have to inform the patient that they will not be treated within the necessary timeline. It is important to note that this bill is not intended to criticize the diagnosing physician for their recommendations, since doctors should always be encouraged to inform patients of their honest opinion. The public deserves to make an informed decision with regards to their health and the potential need to seek care elsewhere. We already know people are dying on wait lists across BC, but this bill would require a fully transparent yearly reporting of the number of patients who died waiting for life-saving care. British Columbia deserves a healthcare system that is honest, transparent, and accountable.
Members, the question is first reading of the bill. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Member.
Honorable Speaker, I move the bill be placed on the order of the day for second reading at the next sitting of the House after today.
You have heard the question. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Madam Clerk.
Statements by members.
Member for Surrey Serpentine River.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. As we celebrate the fall season and harvest, a time that anchors both Thanksgiving and Halloween, I'm proud to recognize one of Surrey Serpentine River's agricultural gems, Rondiso Farms. This is the most important economic time of year for many in our farming community, and Rondiso Farms embodies the entrepreneurial energy that keeps local agriculture thriving. With deep roots in Surrey dating back to the 50s, they have built lasting partnerships with neighboring growers, with dairy farmers, with meat producers, with specialty product producers, ensuring that families across our region have access to the freshest local produce. Their showcase general store is a hub of community connection, where residents come not just to shop, but to share stories, recipes, and the spirit of the changing seasons. And of course, no fall would be complete without a visit to their enormous pumpkin patch, a true local tradition. Families come from near and far to enjoy hay rides, explore the fields, and find that one special pumpkin to take home. Or you could be like me and take home 5, all different sizes and amazing colors. Through hard work, innovation, and dedication to sustainable practices, the Tamas family, Ari, Sophie, Ron, and Pam, and their 3 sons, Caden, Mitchell, and Luke, are a symbol of what makes Surrey's agricultural community so special. They remind us that supporting local farms strengthens our economy and makes our communities special. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Member for Esquimalt Colwood.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would like to begin by acknowledging that we're gathered today on the traditional lands of the Coasupsum and Songhees Nation and thank them for their stewardship of our lands. As the MLA of Esquimalt Colwood and the government military liaison, I am deeply proud to represent a community with such a strong and enduring connection to Canadians military. Canadian Force Base Esquimalt was actually established in 1855 by the Royal Navy and became the headquarters for the Pacific Station a decade later. It was transferred to the Royal Canadian Navy in 1910 and then became CFB Esquimalt in 1966. For 170 years, this base has been the heart of our nation's defense, home to ships, submarines, aircrafts, and the dedicated personnel who operate on them. Whether in the air, on the sea, under the waves, or on the land, the members of our Canadian Armed Forces serve with courage and commitment. They do so knowing they will miss milestones, holidays, precious moments with family. They witness and carry experiences most of us cannot even imagine. Yet they continue to serve without hesitation, because they have sworn to protect this country and everyone who calls it home. As we approach Remembrance Day, we pause to honor those who have made the ultimate sacrifice, to thank our veterans for their strength and service, and to recognize those who are serving, especially the men and the women of CFB Esquimalt, for their daily dedication to peace and security. You cannot walk down the street of Esquimalt with seeing someone in uniform, someone you've known in uniform. Mr. Speaker, Winston Churchill once said, "We sleep safely at night because rough men stand ready to visit violence on those who would harm us." Today and every day, we thank those who stand ready, past, present, and future. I know we have some members within this government and within our opposition who served, and I'd like to take a special thank them for not just serving before, but then representing people today within the legislature. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Member for Caribou-Chilcotin.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. It is with great pride that I rise in this House today to speak about an event that has been the beating heart of my community for nearly a century, the Williams Lake Stampede. For 97 years, this iconic celebration has drawn tens of thousands from across British Columbia, Canada, and of course, indeed, the world, to witness world-class rodeo action in the historic Williams Lake Stampede Park. But what truly makes this event exceptional isn't the dust and the mud of the arena, it's the people behind it, Mr. Speaker. Hundreds of volunteers dedicate countless hours each year to create something extraordinary. A board of nearly 20 directors provides steadfast leadership, ensuring that every contract, every flag, and every cheer in the grandstands comes together seamlessly for this Canada Day weekend spectacle. The Stampede is more than just a rodeo. It's a reflection of who we are, resilient, proud, and deeply connected to the land and to one another. It fuels our local economy, it fills our hotels and campgrounds, and showcases the incredible spirit of Caribou-Chilcotins. It also honors the rich cultural traditions of our local First Nations, whose partnership have made this event even stronger and more inclusive than ever before. Mr. Speaker, each year, as I stand before more than 5,000 cheering spectators on Saturday afternoon to welcome them to Caribou-Chilcotin, I'm reminded of just how important this event is to our region, how it brings us together year after year. Mr. Speaker, it gives me tremendous joy to share that the Williams Lake Stampede has officially been named the best rodeo in Canada by the Canadian Professional Rodeo Association. I want to congratulate everyone that worked on the 97th Annual Williams Lake Stampede. And Mr. Speaker, I'd like to invite you all to the 98th Annual Williams Lake Stampede.
Member of Wandifika-Malahat.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. As Remembrance Day approaches, I want to recognize and celebrate the profound contributions of the Royal Canadian Legion Malahat Branch 134. With over 400 members, this branch is not only a cornerstone of the community, but also a vibrant gathering place for seniors and residents throughout the region. At this time, I want to highlight the annual Poppy campaign running from October 31st to November 11th. This tradition is more than a symbol, it is a lifeline that supports our veterans and their families, as well as retired RCMP members. This year, Legion volunteers devoted countless hours to the preparation of approximately 6,000 Poppy envelopes for distribution, ensuring the community continues the tradition to show gratitude and remembrance. On October 22nd, the Legion held a remembrance service in Cobble Hill. The ceremony for the fallen was dedicated to honoring those who made the ultimate sacrifice on Canadian soil in non-combat roles. This year, I look forward to attending the November 11th ceremony at the Cobble Hill Cenotaph, where the community will once again come together to remember and reflect. Recently, I had the pleasure of meeting with Legion President Isabel Hammer, one of the many dedicated volunteers whose tireless efforts are the backbone of the Legion's success. Her work, along with that of so many others, has led to significant upgrades at the Legion, such as the installation of new floors, a new bar, as well as a bustling kitchen that supports a variety of community events. Let us extend our gratitude to all the members, volunteers, and supporters of the Royal Canadian Legion Malahat Branch 134 for their unwavering commitment to honoring our veterans and enhancing community, lest we forget. Thank you, Honourable Speaker.
Third party House Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This morning I want to celebrate an essential branch of BC's government, the humble constituency office. Constituency offices connect British Columbians to their government. They uphold and they prioritize public interest. With every case, they not only help individuals, they build trust. I'm extremely lucky to have an experienced constituency staff who serve Saanich North and the islands. Their service to the public gives us all a good name. They help mothers reconnect with their children. They help persons with disabilities stay in their homes. They help seniors access essential medical care through MSP and pharmacare coverage. They advocate for local improvements that enhance safety for all. You know, constituency staff hear stories day in, day out from people falling through the gaps in government services. With compassion and patience, all of our constituency staff, they navigate difficult situations and layers of government bureaucracy to offer a listening ear, address individual issues, and advocate for systemic policy change. Like social workers, they carry a heavy caseload of heart-wrenching stories. Too often, their safety is threatened. It's not easy work, but it is so valued. So today, I hope you'll join me in celebrating all constituency assistants, and particularly those from Saanich North and the Islands who are in the chamber today. Thank you.
Member for Vancouver Strathcona.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise today on the second spookiest day of the year, the day before Halloween. I thought about dressing up as Ronald Reagan or Nixon, but they're not so scary anymore. Now, I'm proud of the work we do in this building, but I won't lie to you, Mr. Speaker. I'm so excited to get back to the constituency where I can dress up with my office and hand out treats to our kids in the area. For kids and adults, it's a time to be creative and silly. Now, Halloween is more than just a fun day. Beneath the costumes, the mask, the face paint, it connects people around the world with those who came before us. In many Asian communities like Vancouver's Chinatown, the Hungry Ghost Festival marks a moment when the spirits of the departed return to visit the living. Families offer fruit, wine, light incense, and carry photos of the loved ones they miss. Closer to home, Tsleil-Waututh holds a deep connection to the land, water, and the spirit world. As Uncle Leonard George said, I believe in the spirit in me, in the ones I love, and the spirit of Mother Earth. Ceremony, connection, and spirit are all sacred. Honoring the dead is a year-round practice rooted in a deep love of the land and the people. These celebrations show us that none of us are truly gone as long as we keep each other's memories alive. So while we're having fun, let's also reflect on the universal experience of remembering those who came before us. So across cultures and generations, honoring the dead is a way of honoring life itself. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Minister of Agriculture.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I seek leave to make an introduction.
Is leave granted? Please proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I've got some wonderful guests in the gallery this morning. I have a number of grade 4 and 5 students from Cordova Bay Elementary in Saanich South. They're joined by Ms. Norris, Ms. Holmes, and Ms. Watson. Thank you for visiting and welcome to the legislature.
Honorable Premier.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. This Remembrance Day takes place in an exceptional global moment. I think that all Canadians and all British Columbians feel an increased sense of insecurity about the rising drumbeat of war around the world, the threat of global bullies, ignoring international law and their obligations, and the rapid armament of countries around the world in response. This insecurity globally is coupled with a new realization in Canada, which is that we cannot and should not be as dependent on the United States as we have been in the past. We have to stand on our own 2 feet. This realization certainly brings advantages for British Columbia, whether it's our shipbuilding industry, our proud shipbuilders at Seaspan, bidding for a contract to build new corvettes for the Canadian Navy, whether it's the ship maintenance yards on the West Coast, vying for maintenance contracts related to new submarines, or whether it's the North Coast transmission line feeding electricity up to the Yukon to support Arctic sovereignty efforts. It's important, though, to recognize that these advantages, this incredible cutting-edge equipment, these opportunities for British Columbia are nothing without the remarkable men and women of the Canadian Armed Forces who will be operating them, who will make their benefits realized for all Canadians. And that work does come at a cost, Honourable Speaker. Our oldest at our house, Ezra, has always had a great fascination with the military and an interest in military service. This is unusual at our house. We, as first-time parents, we were very reluctant to give water guns to our son to avoid glamorizing what is a very serious thing. Yet at the splash pad, Ezra would wander around to other families asking them for their water guns. So finally we became one of the greatest armories of the splash pad. He wore us down. But his interest in the military, his interest in service, forced us to reckon as a family, what would that mean for us? And who ultimately makes these sacrifices for our countries? The men and women who step forward, who spend their weekends and evenings as reservists, away from friends and family. The people who serve full-time in the armed forces, who say that they're willing to make the ultimate sacrifice for our country, those who are injured. It made us think about their families too, about their loved ones, about the husbands, the wives, the children, the moms and dads at home worrying about those who are overseas, sometimes for months at a time. When we wear the poppy this year, it brings a special importance and resonance for all Canadians as we reflect on our own security here at home and the profound gratitude that we have for these individuals who step forward to make this sacrifice, and their families and their friends who support them in this crucially important work. We put on the poppy, and we also reach out and provide that support, that pat on the back, that thank you to everybody who makes it possible for our country to be safe, strong, and free. Least we forget, Honourable Speaker. Thank you.
Member for Prince George Valemount.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. I rise today on behalf of the official opposition to thank the Premier for his words and reflection. I too join all members of this House in solemn recognition of Remembrance Day. It is a day of tremendous importance. It holds deep meaning to so many Canadians, and particularly for those of us who have worn the uniform. As I stand here, I am reminded of how fortunate we are to live in a democratic country where our voices are heard, our rights are protected, and our differences are celebrated. These cherished freedoms did not come easily. They were earned through sacrifice, courage, and unwavering duty by the men and women of the Canadian Forces at home and abroad, past and present. Over 1.5 million Canadians have served in conflicts from the First World War to Afghanistan. It is vital that we remember those lost in battle. For every name etched in stone represents a life dedicated to a cause greater than oneself. For those of us who have served, Remembrance Day is not merely a ceremony or a moment of silence. It is a personal reflection, a day when faces and names come to mind, when the weight of memory presses close. We remember not only those that gave their lives, but those who returned home, changed, carrying the unseen burdens of service and sacrifice. Wearing the red poppy inspired by Flanders Fields represents not only bloodshed by countless heroes, it represents a promise to never forget, to never take for granted the peace and security that others fought to preserve. It is also a reminder of our continuing responsibility to support our veterans and their families, not just in words, but in meaningful action. Honourable Speaker, as we approach November 11th, communities across British Columbia will gather in legions, schools, town squares, and at local cenotaphs. The sound of the last post will echo in the crisp morning air. And for 2 minutes, we will stand together alongside veterans, armed forces members, merchant marines, and RCMP members who have and continue to serve our country so courageously. In silent gratitude, we will be united across generations and beliefs. As we bow our heads in silence, let us also lift our hearts in gratitude, as it is our responsibility to ensure the values they fought for, a commitment to justice, freedom, and equality, continue to flourish in every corner of our communities, province, and nation. Together, let us pledge to actively protect our democracy and to live in a manner that respects their sacrifice. Let us showcase the compassion they demonstrated in the face of adversity by treating one another with kindness and respect, as it is the best tribute we can offer to safeguard the very freedoms they fought to give us. But remembrance must live beyond a single day. It must guide the decisions we make here in this chamber, whether it's ensuring veterans have timely access to health care, mental health supports, or the dignity of stable housing. We must continue to honor their sacrifice by how we care for them when they have returned home. As a veteran myself, I know firsthand that the call to serve never truly leaves you. It becomes part of who you are, a sense of duty, of loyalty to something greater than oneself. That spirit continues in our communities today, where veterans contribute quietly, volunteering, mentoring, leading still, and serving in countless ways. So as we remember, let us also renew our personal commitment to peace, to compassion, to gratitude. Let us teach our children and our youth not only the history of war, but the values of courage, resilience, and hope that define those who served. To the families that have lost loved ones, to the veterans who carry the weight of remembrance each day, we thank you. Your sacrifices will never be forgotten. At the going down of the sun and in the morning, we shall remember them.
Leader of the third party.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker, and thank you to the Premier and the member for Prince George Valemount for their heartfelt words. In advance of Remembrance Day, I also rise to honour the courage and sacrifice of those who serve to defend peace, democracy, and our rights. We must reflect this November not only on their bravery, but on the lessons their service teaches us today. War was born from division, hatred, and the collapse of trust in each other and in our communities. As the Premier mentioned, all over the world we're seeing a rise in worrisome signs: disinformation, polarization, mistrust, and a deterioration of good governance. The very foundations of society our veterans fought to protect. We must all work together to strengthen our ties to community, family, and to each other, and ensure no one feels left behind. Remembrance Day is not only about honoring sacrifice, but remembering and upholding the values they fought for: democracy, compassion, and unity. We must remember the mistakes of the past to avoid making them in the present and in the future, lest we forget. Thank you, Honourable Speaker.
Leader of the fourth party.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Freedom needs to be fought for, and we all stand here today as products of the ultimate sacrifice that the best of Canadian society made on our behalf. When threats came to our civilization and our freedoms in World Wars I and World War II and other conflicts, our people, including countless young men just old enough to vote and some not yet old enough, ran toward the threat. Their sense of duty and the strong instinct to stand up for the moral right in the face of evil and totalitarianism drove them to fight and even die on the battlefield for Canada and a free Western world. These brave Canadians are the reason why we remember names like Vimy Ridge, Juno Beach, and Passchendaele, despite most of us having never set foot in those places. Although this House will not be sitting on Remembrance Day, these words I am speaking now will be the sentiments on my heart on November 11th. In fact, we should all stop throughout the year in our own time to remember the sacrifices made by past generations. Sacrifices almost none of us in this room could possibly imagine or comprehend. Their example should be our model to follow. In everything we do every day, we need to remember that our freedoms were purchased by the blood of the many who did not come home from distant battlefields and vast open seas, lest we forget.
Members, let's have a piece of moment of silence for remembering all those who sacrificed for us today and tomorrow and every day. Thank you. Madam Clerk.
Oral questions by members.
Member for North Island.
Last night it was reported that 1 of 4 OBGYNs resigned from Ridge Meadows Hospital. This happened in the Minister of Education's riding on the heel of the mass resignation of 7 Kamloops OBGYN and an open letter from 130 obstetricians and gynecologists condemning this province for using temporary physicians. Dr. Charlene Louis, President of Doctors of BC, warns that the province doesn't have a plan and that using temporary physicians will only continue, quote, to destabilize the system. Can the minister please tell us how many other hospitals across BC are at risk of OBGYN shortages or mass resignations?
Minister of Health.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Thank you to the member for the question. First of all, I just want to address the issues in Ridge Meadows and say that it is stressful. It creates anxiety for expectant mothers and for families who are anticipating the birth of their child. And to know at this time that there's a possibility of interruption of services is a tough thing to take. And I do want to thank the team at Maple Ridge and Ridge Meadows for the service that they're providing to people. Mr. Speaker, the member talks about the short-term actions that we have to take and that health authorities continue to focus on to provide what we all have as a common goal, which is stable maternity services for women and families across British Columbia. Mr. Speaker, those short-term actions are essential to make sure that the care is there and it can be delivered. But, Mr. Speaker, it also speaks to why we have to continue the work that we're doing in the creation of a new medical school here in British Columbia to train the next generation of doctors, to reach out to jurisdictions like California, Washington, and Oregon to invite physicians to move here to British Columbia to practice in our universal public health care system. Mr. Speaker, that is the long-term work that has to happen to provide those stable services. It is work that our government is entirely focused on, and we are not going to stop until we are able to see those stable services in place. We are going to continue to work with physicians, hear them, listen to the doctors of BC, and create the situation where the provision of care is there for people when they need it and where they need it, Mr. Speaker.
Member supplemental.
I've been a practicing physician for almost 40 years, and I've done deliveries without OBGYN backup, and I'll tell you, it can be pretty scary. The resignation of OBGYN is having a domino effect. I've never seen, in all my career, almost 40 years, the system being so fragile. Departments are running at full capacity with one body away from closing. We warned this wave was coming, and it's here. The minister did not answer my question, and women across BC want to know, how many hospitals across BC are at risk of OBGYN shortage or mass resignation? Give us a number.
Minister.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. The member refers to what is happening in Kamloops, where 7 OBGYNs have tendered their resignation letter, but continue to sit at the table with Interior Health as Interior Health listens to their concerns and does the work with them to hear those, to create what we all need and expect, and that is stable maternity services, not just in Kamloops, but across the province. The situation in Ridge Meadows is different, with one OBGYN leaving and others making their decisions, but it is not a mass resignation, Mr. Speaker, and I want to be really clear about that. But the member speaks to the need to continue to double down on the work that has to be done, training new family physicians, some of whom will choose maternity specialties, who support women with low-risk pregnancies. Mr. Speaker, the work to attract and train new specialists, new OBGYN, who will move to British Columbia, who will train in British Columbia to practice these services here. Mr. Speaker, that work is absolutely essential. And yet, members of the opposition opposed our idea to recruit into the U.S. and to ask American physicians to move to British Columbia to practice, and that is happening. American physicians are moving here. They are...
Members, wait for your turn. Members. Shh. Members. Minister. Members.
We are
Minister.
going to continue the work of training, of recruiting, of hiring, of streamlining credentialing for those physicians who are coming here from other jurisdictions. Mr. Speaker, continuing to work with physicians, hear their concerns, take the short-term and long-term actions that are necessary to build out a stable system of care for British Columbians who expect it, who deserve it.
Member for Courtenay-Comox.
The only thing this government is continuing is managing the decline of our fragile healthcare system, Mr. Speaker. This government certainly supports your efforts to recruit from the United States, but we'd like you to put some focus on retention as well.
Through the chair, member.
Mr. Speaker, there are 24 hours left, and as recently as yesterday, the minister has repeatedly acknowledged this government does not fully understand the impact to the cuts to long-term care and assisted living across this province. Will the minister commit today, again, to stop these cuts and put seniors first? Yes or no?
Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you for the opportunity once again to talk about how important it is to provide safe and secure care for seniors in this province. Why this government has invested millions and millions of dollars into building and renewing long-term care homes in this province. Mr. Speaker, we canvassed this heavily yesterday, and I know that the members of this House understand that the winding down of a temporary stabilization program that was brought in is a measure that we have taken while we work with operators to understand the particular challenges that they're facing, Mr. Speaker. But in the meantime, we are making up for years of neglect into long-term care. Mr. Speaker, so, for example...
Members, come to order, please.
In the member... For example, Mr. Speaker, in the constituency of Courtenay-Comox in the member's own riding, 156 new beds that were completed and opened in July 2024. Mr. Speaker, just a couple of years before that, 104 beds completed in 2022 in the member's own riding. These are the beds. These are the beds that are needed to provide that safe, secure care for the people that we love. This is work that this government is deeply committed to. We have a proven track record of investments in new beds, safe, secure care for the people that we love.
Member has supplemental.
Thank you, Speaker. The minister mentions new beds in my riding. 100 of those beds are at risk of closure through these cuts. If this minister is reaching into the Wayback Machine, Mr. Speaker, she should look at the person sitting in front of her. Yesterday, Mr. Speaker, the minister brushed this off, saying it's only 6% of long-term care beds. Well, that 6% is 850 grandparents who could be pushed into hallway cares or onto the streets. This may be the largest cut to seniors' care in British Columbia's history. We're down to 24 hours. Will this minister stop these cuts today, or will MLAs be fielding calls tomorrow from concerned families asking where their loved ones are supposed to go?
Minister of Health. Member for South. Minister of Health.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. We continue to meet with operators to discuss their particular situations, Mr. Speaker, and we understand that transitions are a difficult time. That's why it's so important to hear from them. Mr. Speaker, that is why we met yesterday with the BC Care Providers Association to hear directly from them about their insights and the information that they have to share with me and with the ministry. Health authorities continue to work with operators. There is not one person is going to be kicked out of their bed, of their home tomorrow, and for anyone on the opposite side to infer that is absolutely wrong. Mr. Speaker, we're going to continue the work to address the root causes of what these facilities are facing in terms of being able to recruit and retain healthcare assistants, Mr. Speaker, licensed practical nurses, registered nurses, Mr. Speaker, all of the dedicated people that make these facilities what they are and who care for our grandparents, for our parents. Mr. Speaker, this is the work that we have to continue to do. We are deeply committed to working with every single operator, every single facility that comes forward. That work will not stop.
Leader of the third party.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. The Premier has said that local news outlets are, quote, treasures to local communities, end quote. And in the spring in this House, the member for Nanaimo-Lantzville lamented their slow deterioration. Mr. Speaker, I concur. Locally based media and local news are essential to community cohesion and a healthy democracy. In this time of instability, trustworthy journalism is more important than ever. This week in our caucus, we've been talking about integrity. But in this government's urgent pleas to buy BC, they may have forgotten to look at their own spending. It's estimated that the province spends the vast majority of its advertising budget with American tech giants like Meta and Google. Meanwhile, in Ontario, the province mandated that its Crown agencies allocate at least 25% of their advertising dollars to local news outlets. Mr. Speaker, if we can copy Ontario's anti-tariff ad campaign, surely we can follow their lead on this. My question is for the Premier. Will his government commit today to spending at least half of its advertising budget with BC-based news media?
Mr. Premier.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker, and thank you to the member for the question. Following the actions of the U.S. President, we issued a number of directions to Crown corporations and to government as a whole, including to remove U.S. liquor from the shelves, to prioritize contracting and purchasing from trade allies and from Canadian companies and BC companies first, and to make sure that that applied across the board, including to advertising. We have worked closely with the advertising sector related to local media. They've been reaching out to us to say the government advertising should be focused on local media, and we are ensuring that we are meeting those obligations. I'm happy to brief the member on the numbers so that he has the information that we have about how we spend to support local media. And we're getting the message out to British Columbians about flu vaccines, about wildfires, and other crucial information that they need to have.
Member supplemental.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. I thank the Premier for his answer. When a road is washed out by an atmospheric river or wildfire forces communities to evacuate, people of BC deserve a reliable source of local, trustworthy information. In the modern age, people turn to a variety of sources. Government should advertise in all of them. By advertising almost exclusively in foreign-owned social media, a significant portion of our population isn't receiving the message. This isn't about propping up a failing industry or spending new money. This is about shopping local and supporting integral institutions instead of parasitic corporations. The Premier's NDP counterpart in Manitoba convened an all-party committee to explore the future of journalism. Will the Premier do the same?
Premier.
This is the first I've heard of the initiative of the remarkable and talented Premier of Manitoba. I'm happy to engage with them and the member on these discussions. I think it is crucial that media is supported across Canada as a verifiable source of information for Canadians, and happy to engage in those conversations.
House Leader of the Fourth Party.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Without logs, forestry dies, like a restaurant with no food. And forestry was the backbone of our province for decades, providing jobs, infrastructure, revenue, and helping build small towns across BC. Today, the industry is in ruins. The cause? A steady decline in the allowable cut. Powerful US-funded environmentalists have weaponized our love of nature, using endangered species laws, so-called old-growth protection, and climate scams like carbon credits to lock up productive forest land. Simultaneously, Indigenous tribal chiefs and reconciliation industry lawyers leverage spurious sovereignty claims to engage in lawsuits or blockades which restrict access to public forests, as we saw with Fairy Creek. My question to the Minister of Forests is this: will you take even one small step to reduce the control that the environmental and reconciliation lobbies have over your ministry?
Minister of Forests.
Thanks very much, Mr. Speaker. I'm very proud to be the Minister of Forests and to be able to work with the entire forest sector, which includes environmental organizations, First Nations, to really look at the path forward. We are facing dire circumstances in forestry right now because of the challenging circumstances we're facing with Donald Trump's attack on our forest sector. And this requires us to be able to look at the future of forestry. I want to acknowledge the member's comments about forestry being the bedrock industry for the province of British Columbia. I feel very strongly, as does the Premier and those members on this side of the House, that forestry will continue to be that strong, sustainable sector that produces and creates good-paying jobs in every corner of this province. And unlike the member opposite, we are not going to pit First Nations against government. Unlike the member opposite, we are not going to cut down more old-growth trees and go back to 1950s-style clear-cutting efforts. What we are going to do is lay the path forward that ensures that we can have a strong, sustainable sector that ensures that we're stewarding our lands, protecting our communities from wildfires, and ensuring that we are creating prosperity in every corner of this province.
Member has supplemental.
You know, it's a funny thing. Donald Trump can't destroy our forest industry because the Premier already has. In fact, he's beaten it to death. This government has destroyed this once mighty industry. It's so bad that paper mills in Port Alberni are importing fiber from, you guessed it, the United States. In the name of reconciliation, this government is refusing to issue cutting permits necessary to keep mills open. While BC's allowable cuts decline, our neighbors over in Alberta have increased theirs by close to 50% over the past couple of decades. My question, will the minister commit to increasing the allowable cut?
Minister.
Mr. Speaker, Forestry 101, I think, is an important thing for all members of the House. The government does not increase the annual allowable cut. The independent chief forester sets the annual allowable cut. What I will do, Mr. Speaker, is work across government with all of my colleagues, the Minister of Waterland and Resource Stewardship, the Minister of Environment, to ensure that we can move forward on a major project that the Premier has set. And that is to ensure that we can have a strong, sustainable forest sector that produces a harvest that creates jobs and prosperity in every corner of this province. We are doing that on the coast, where we have seen a significant reduction of raw logs leaving our communities and jobs leaving our community. As an example, when we took government, over 6 million logs were leaving, cubic meters worth of logs were leaving our province every single year. That's enough logs to build over 100,000 homes. Those numbers have gone down considerably since we took office. Another example in the interior, we are investing in value-added manufacturing. In my colleague from Castlegar's riding, we have a first-of-its-kind mass timber modular housing facility, the first of its kind in North America, here in British Columbia. Mr. Speaker, these are the steps that we're taking to ensure that we can have a strong, sustainable forest sector, and we won't apologize for the work that we're doing, and we'll bring First Nations, we'll bring industry, all to the same table to build that path forward.
Member for Skeena.
This Premier has so little faith in his ministers' ability to do their jobs that he has hired Michael Bryant, Penny Ballum, Doug White, Larry Campbell, Nathan Allen, George Heyman, Daniel Vigo, and Charlie Demers. Over $2 million in consultants in 1 year. I wonder if that's why this government is cutting long-term care funding. During a public sector hiring freeze, how many more NDP friends and insiders will get six-figure contracts to try to shield this government from its own failures?
Minister of Finance.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Thank you to the member opposite for the question. When we hire external people to come in and assist us, it's because they have a unique skill set that positions them to do really important work. And I'll share with the member opposite a perfect example of that which she mentioned, which is George Heyman, someone who has been the head of the BCGEU and a member of government who provided very sage advice to me. This is a very unique skill set, and having people who have such important skill sets assist us is money well spent.
Member for Skeena supplemental.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I still think that the primary job of this government should be trying to make sure that we can keep long-term care beds open, but this Premier claimed he could fix the problems on the downtown east side when he became Premier. It's been 3 years with absolutely no progress. Now he's hired another communications staffer, Nathan Allen, at $140,000 to do public relations for him on the downtown east side. The Premier himself, the ministers and the parliamentary secretaries he appointed clearly couldn't get the job done. So again, to the Premier, can he tell us how many NDP insiders it takes to fix the problems he created?
Minister of Housing and Municipal Affairs.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you to the member opposite for the question. Mr. Allen is returning to a position that he held a year ago. It's a public engagement role that will focus on housing and bringing community voices together in the downtown east side. This government's work in the downtown east side is significant. Since 2023, we've opened 800 new and renovated spaces, more than 900 more on the way. We continue to focus on results for people. That's our work in the downtown east side, seeing tangible results for the community there and far beyond. We're doing that work in ridings in communities all across this province, including many of the communities of members opposite, working with local leaders, working with community leaders to open winter shelters, to open supportive housing. We are focused on people, and we will continue to do that work.
Member for Fraser-Nicola.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Earlier this year, the government downloaded Ecom 911 costs onto 9 Vancouver Island ridings. 9 mayors called the downloading hugely unfair, untenable, and poorly handled. Why is this government hell-bent on making municipalities pay for their mistakes?
Minister of Public Safety and Solicitor General.
Thank you very much to the Speaker, and thank you to the member opposite for the question. We have heard from municipalities about some of the challenges related to the increasing costs of emergency call services. We are about to release a report that will
Why don't you get up and ask a question?
Members.
We will
Please
soon be
continue.
releasing reports that the Premier, that are the aftermath of the Premier's decision to call for a review of the Ecom service, which provides invaluable emergency call services for municipalities across the province. We are committed to ensuring that we're working with municipalities so that they can continue to deliver the core service that when people call 911, they receive the prompt service that they need. We'll continue to do that work with municipalities, and we'll look forward to the continued conversation.
Member for Fraser-Nicola, supplemental.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Healthcare is crumbling and cities are being forced to step up. Surrey is the latest city working to open their own primary care clinic to make up for the government's healthcare incompetence. Surrey has half the family doctors of Vancouver and now is taking on the task of providing health care because this government will not. Will this government fund the Surrey clinic, or will that leave City of Surrey holding the bag yet again? Yes or no?
Minister of Health.
Thank you so much, Honourable Speaker. It's a real pleasure to have the Mayor of Surrey here in the House today, and I want to compliment her and her council and the city for the work that they are doing. Mr. Speaker, that is true partnership. Understanding that health care and ensuring that your citizens can access it is fundamental to the economy of your city. Mr. Speaker, that it is fundamental to being able to attract new businesses, new investment, to invite newcomers to come and live in your community and see it thrive. So kudos to the City of Surrey, Mr. Speaker. It is an example of the way that our government is working with municipalities, local governments around the province. Whether it's Sicamous or it's Creston, it's Caribou, these are communities that are stepping up to the table and they are participating in recruiting physicians and healthcare workers to their communities because, Mr. Speaker, they know their communities best. And that is why taking a Team BC approach to building out infrastructure, to attracting the healthcare workers who are going to be members of their communities is a fantastic idea, and I thank every single local government that is stepping up to do that work.
Member for Kamloops Centre.
Thank you. That answer very clearly shows why cities are pleading with this government to stop the downloading, because they're counting on municipalities to continue to add provincial responsibilities under local taxpayers. We have the small businesses across this province begging for tax relief, especially property tax relief. We have sawmills and pulp mills around this province pleading for help from this government that has created the highest cost forestry jurisdiction in North America with their NDP policies. We have a premier that says he's opposed to a northern pipeline because we need to maximize the value of the existing pipeline networks that we have in British Columbia. Correct. Yet later this month, the Minister of Finance is being asked to sign off on a 30% reduction of the assessed values of those existing pipelines in British Columbia. Now, pipelines are capped on the property tax rates they can pay, which means that's a 30% tax holiday for those same pipeline companies the Premier says we have to maximize the value of. And who will have to pick up that cost, Mr. Speaker? The pulp mills, the sawmills, and the small businesses that this Premier says they are standing up and fighting for. So the government has two simple solutions. They can either say they will reject the reduction, the 30% tax holiday for pipelines being suggested by BC Assessment, or they can increase the cap on the mill rates for Class 2. Which is this government prepared to do today?
Minister of Finance.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Thank you to the member opposite for the question. First, I want to say that BC Assessment has been doing this evaluation of models work over a 10-year period. It's not yet come to my desk. I expect it to come to my desk in November. But I'll share with the member that I too feel concerned. I feel concerned any time that there is a downloading of taxes onto small businesses and onto people, and I look forward to reviewing this report.
Member supplemental.
Thank you. Well, it's a pretty easy concept, and surely the minister must have been aware of it because it has to be approved by the end of November, according to BC Assessment's own presentations to local governments. So it's shocking that the government doesn't already have a position whether or not they were going to take action or not. But it's interesting because it's always tough to understand what exactly this government and this finance minister is doing. On the first quarter update, Mr. Speaker, when concerns were raised about the sleight of hand happening with the tobacco settlement money in British Columbia, the minister assured everybody that it was standard accounting practices, and in fact, the Auditor General would be quite happy with how BC was handling that sleight of hand, with booking 18 years worth of a settlement in 1 year to try to deflect and make their horrible, horrible record deficit look a little bit better than it actually is in real life. Well, Mr. Speaker, just the other day, the Auditor General actually indicated that no, in fact, they're not overly impressed with how this government chose to do the bookkeeping on the tobacco settlement. So can the minister please explain the disconnect between the words she keeps trying to convey to the public about the budget bookkeeping they continue to do to try to hide their record deficits over the language we're hearing coming out of the Auditor General's office?
Mr. Premier.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Let me be a member in this House who rises to thank the Attorney General and her team for closing off litigation that was started by an NDP government almost 20 years ago against the big tobacco companies who lied about how tobacco was addictive, didn't cause cancer, on and on, to hold them accountable for the harm that they caused in our province, to deliver literally billions of dollars to the province of British Columbia to help pay for the harm that they caused. Way to go. Way to go. Let me thank her and her team for holding opioid producers to account for the largest healthcare settlement in British Columbia history, bringing billions of dollars to provinces and territories across Canada, grappling with the opioid crisis that they caused. Congratulations, Attorney General. Let me thank the Attorney General and her team for bringing forward legislation to hold the vaping companies to account for the vaping epidemic among our young people and the harm they are causing to youth across North America, so that they finally paid for the harm that they caused, Honourable Speaker. Congratulations to the member. I love having a problem. I love having a problem.
Members will come to order. Hold it. Member for Abbotsford South. Members, Premier has the floor. He will answer. Shh. Premier.
Sorry, kids. I love having a problem of how to account for billions of dollars recovered from wrongdoers who hurt people in our province. We're going to keep doing it. And if it's a problem of how to count the money, then bring it on.
The bell ends the question period. Honourable members, I have the honour to table the Chief Electoral Office report, October 19, 2024, Provincial General Election, Volume 3, Recommendations for Legislative Change. Member for Burnaby North.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I have the honour to present the second report of the Special Committee to appoint statutory officers. I move that the report be taken as read and received.
Member, the question is that report be taken as read and received. All those in favour say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Member.
Honourable Speaker, I ask leave of the House to move a motion to adopt the report.
Is leave granted?
Aye.
Continue.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move that the report be adopted, and in doing so, it is my pleasure to share some comments on my role as chair of the committee. This report contains the committee's unanimous recommendation to appoint Jeffrey Schnorr as BC's next Conflict of Interest Commissioner. Since our committee was struck in February, we conducted a rigorous and thorough recruitment process during which we received 42 applications and interviewed 6 candidates. Throughout the process, we were particularly impressed by Mr. Schnorr. Mr. Schnorr most recently served as Ethics Commissioner for the Legislative Assembly of Manitoba. In that role, he provided confidential advice to members, demonstrating a commitment to prompt and responsive service. Prior to this work, he held many senior positions in the Manitoba Public Service and has demonstrated strong leadership qualities and a commitment to honesty, integrity, and diversity. The committee recognizes the important work that the Office of the Conflict of Interest Commissioner undertakes, and we are confident that Mr. Schnorr's experience and new ideas will reinforce public confidence in BC's elected representatives. Would the House please join me in welcoming Mr. Schnorr, who is here in the gallery today. On behalf of the committee and all members of the Legislative Assembly, I would like to thank Victoria Gray for her public service and dedication as Conflict of Interest Commissioner for the past 6 years, and wish her well in her retirement. I would also like to recognize Ms. Gray's service as Acting Commissioner until Mr. Schnorr's term starts. Ms. Gray also joined us in the gallery today. Finally, I would express my gratitude to the Deputy Chair, the member for Surrey Serpentine River, and all committee members for their thoughtful contributions and the collaborative spirit that they brought to our work.
Member for Surrey Serpentine River.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. I would also like to extend my appreciation to all members of the committee, including the Chair, the member for Burnaby North. As Ethics Commissioner of Manitoba, Jeffrey Schnorr has worked to increase the public's understanding of his role and to promote transparency and accountability. Mr. Schnorr has accomplished this work by collaborating with the media and modernizing Manitoba's disclosure processes. He brings an extensive legal background to the role, which includes work in the private practice and experience in the public service as Deputy Minister in Manitoba of Justice and Deputy Attorney General of Manitoba. The committee is confident that his experience, guiding values, and strong leadership will be assets as he assumes his role of Conflict of Information Commissioner in our province. Thank you, Honourable Speaker.
Members, the question is the adoption of the report. All those in favour say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Honourable Premier.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Thank you, Ms. Gray, Commissioner Gray, for your work. Welcome, Mr. Schnorr. By leave, I move that the Legislative Assembly recommend to the Lieutenant Governor and Council that Jeffrey Schnorr, King's Counsel, be appointed as Conflict of Interest Commissioner pursuant to Section 14 of the Members' Conflict of Interest Act for a term of 5 years commencing on January 5, 2026.
Member, you heard the question. Is leave granted?
Aye. Aye.
Thank you. You have heard the motion. All those in favour say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. And so, members, also on behalf of all the members, I would like to congratulate the newly appointed Commissioner. Thank you so much. And I also want to say thank you to the retiring Commissioner who has done such a wonderful job. Thank you so much. Member of Burnaby North.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I have the honour to present the third report of the Special Committee to appoint statutory officers, and I move that the report be taken as read and received.
Members, the question is that the report be taken as read and received. All those in favour say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Member?
Mr. Speaker, I ask leave of the House to move a motion to adopt the report.
Is leave granted? Aye. Please continue.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move that the report be adopted, and in doing so, it is my pleasure as Chair of the Committee to share some remarks. This report contains the Committee's unanimous recommendation to appoint Bridget Parrish as the next Auditor General of the Province of British Columbia. Since our committee was appointed, we conducted a rigorous and thorough recruitment process during which we received 11 applications and interviewed 5 candidates. Throughout the process, we were particularly impressed by Ms. Parrish. Ms. Parrish most recently served as Acting Deputy Auditor General and Equity, Diversity and Inclusion Lead within the Office of the Auditor General. During her more than 10 years with the office, she demonstrated a deep understanding of financial and performance audit processes, which positioned her to provide leadership on the office's most challenging and complex audit files. The committee valued Ms. Parrish's perspectives and experience regarding the modernization of accounting and auditing processes to enhance audit delivery. As Assistant Auditor General of Quality Management, she created and implemented innovative audit software, enhancing the quality and efficiency of the office's work. Ms. Parrish now regularly legislative audit offices as they seek to modernize their own tools. During her tenure at the Office of the Auditor General, Ms. Parrish has demonstrated strong leadership qualities and a commitment to the values of credibility, integrity, and transparency. The committee was impressed by her work and is confident that her experience, coupled with her innovative ideas and principled leadership, will be assets as she takes on the role of Auditor General. Would the House please join me in welcoming her, who is here in the gallery with her family. On behalf of the committee and all members of the Legislative Assembly, I would like to thank Michael Pickup for his public service and dedication as Auditor General. I would also like to recognize Sheila Dodds for her work as Acting Auditor General and her commitment to providing continuity for the office. Ms. Dodds also joins us in the gallery today. Finally, I would like to take the opportunity to thank all committee members, especially the Deputy Chair, the member for Surrey Serpentine River, for the thoughtful and collaboration during our work. Thank you.
Member for Surrey Serpentine River.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'd also like to thank the committee chair from the member from Burnaby North for the absolutely collaborative way in which she ran the meetings and in which we came to our decisions, and as excited to see that someone within the House or within the existing government has now assumed the role of Auditor General. Ms. Parrish developed strong relationships already within the department, and I think it's always great, Mr. Speaker, when you can see someone that can be promoted from within and that has done an outstanding job and work already within the administration. So I'm very happy to be part of the committee that can recommend Ms. Parrish for this role. She has recognized, I'm recognizing the critical role that this Auditor General role plays, but we're confident that Ms. Parrish's experience, her guiding values, will reinforce the transparency and accountability and support the confidence and improvements in the public sector reporting, programs, and services. Thank you, Honourable Speaker, and congratulations, Ms. Parrish.
Members, the question is the adoption of the report. All those in favour say aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Member.
I ask leave of the House to move a motion appointing Bridget Parrish as Auditor General for the province of British Columbia.
Is leave granted?
Aye.
Please continue.
I move that the Legislative Assembly appoint Bridget Parrish as Auditor General pursuant to Section 2 of the Auditor General Act for a term of 8 years commencing on December 1st, 2025.
Member, the question is the adoption of the motion. All those in favour say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Yeah, you can do it. And on behalf of all members, congratulations to our new Auditor General. We're looking forward to working with you. Thank you. Minister of Environment.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, on behalf of the Ministry of Environment and Parks, I have the honor to present the Environmental Emergency Branch's report to the Legislature, which covers the accomplishments of the program over the previous fiscal year from April 1st, 2024 to March 31st, 2025. Division 2.1 of the Environmental Management Act 2003 requires that the Minister of Environment and Parks provide an annual report to the Legislative Assembly that outlines the administration and operation of Division 2.1 and the effectiveness of the spill response scheme under the division. The report I present to you today provides an overview of the Environmental Emergency Branch. The report also includes spill statistics, financials, 3 profiled emergency incidents, key initiatives, compliance, enforcement, and training.
Thank you. Madam Clerk.
Orders of the day.
Government House Leader.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. I move the House to now adjourn.
Member, you heard the question to adjourn the House. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. This House stands adjourned until 1 p.m. today.